Ready when you are.
My name's Callum. I'm going to be talking about my FMP project. The three ideas I've got for my mental health film. The first idea is called Spleef, where we've got 5 characters that all play in a real-life death tag. The person wears black t-shirt and chases the other 4 around. They'll be wearing white clothes or coloured clothes. As they chase the cart one by one, the clothes are going to turn to black to show that they're out of the game, just to signify that they're out. A message will appear on screen that says out, just to sort of, show that they're out. The game tag takes place all over the college. The characters are filmed all around, just going to be running through rooms, in and out buildings, stuff like that. The one remaining player and the person who is it are going to face each other at the end. One will turn to the other and they'll just be like, let's do this. The one who is it runs at the player and stops just before reaching him. Like a time limit thing will show up and it'll say winner. The others are going to run out all just like exhausted, tired. One of them is just going to go, damn it, how do you win every time? And the winner's just going to reply, I'm just lucky, I guess. One of the players says, come on, let's go again. The winner smiles at the camera, says bring it, then the screen just cuts to black. The second idea I had was called The Hand. It's 3 characters trapped inside of the college after hours. As they try to find their way out, they find an unlocked room full of paper sheets. The first character picks up a sheet and sees a red handprint on it and begins to go dizzy. All 3 run out of the room after they hear weird noises. The character who goes dizzy is going to run into the bathroom, looks into the mirror, washes his face, the camera's going to cut down, look back up at him. And as soon as he looks back up at the mirror, he's going to see a masked figure, grabs him, the screen will instantly cut to the other characters. Then they're just like looking around for him, like where is he, do you know where he's gone? Then he's going to walk out of the bathroom, he's going to have a red handprint on his face. And then he's just going to kind of like turn his head slowly, like creepily. They're going to run, he's going to chase them. A second character's going to trip over. He's going to fall, the other character tries to go back for him, but it's too late, he's not going to be able to. The character grabs his leg, prints his face with the red hand, and the final character is trapped in a corner after they've like run around chasing him. The other characters back him into a corner. They both step aside to show a masked figure. This whiteboard does not like me. Yeah, they're both going to show a masked figure who's going to mark him at the end, and then the screen's going to fade to black and it'll re-emerge to show all 3 of them with just red handprints on their face. And the third idea was to have 6 characters wearing black and white meet each other in the street. One of them's going to say, you shouldn't be here. The other group say, we'll see who walks away. Then character in grey appears, throws coins in between each one of them, and in a flash the coins will just turn into weapons. 6 characters are going to fight with all but 2 of them being killed. At the end of it, one turns to the other and says, we're going to end this right now, let's end this. They both drop their weapons and fight hand to hand, fight all, epic. We're going to have different angles, different shots. Then it ends with one of them having the neck snapped. The character who survives, he stands up, collects the coins at the end, and he turns back to hand them to the one in grey. He turns to her and says, they never learn. He walks away, the screen fades to black. I've got a spider diagram of the idea 1. I'm just going to have like the winner sign, like round 1 was an idea we were going to have. The coloured clothes, fading colours in the clothes, the out sign to show that they're out and stuff. Idea 2-1. We've got the red hand was going to be a monster. It was going to be like a contagious thing, like an infection. The mirror was going to signify sort of a darkness inside him that was there anyway. He's going to show him possessed, he's going to cart run, everything, stuff like that. And idea 3, black versus white, weapons. The coins were a main idea that I had. The combat, the street was going to be like either a dark alley or behind a building. Just secluded, not in the middle of like this highway and stuff, high street. The coloured clothes were to signify just sort of rival gangs that have met up, just on accident, you know, like one of them's on the other's turf, stuff like that, 3v3. It was like a last man standing kind of thing. The mind map for idea 1 was to go from the effects, we'd have it saying like sign, saying like out, round 1, winner, stuff like that. The sounds would be, I can barely read that. It would be like game sounds like Mario, 8-bit, coins, stuff like that. The characters would have been myself, Mark, Safi and Scott and Sammy. We'd all just be main characters in that. Location would have been, you know, streets, college, building, maybe even a park. The coloured clothes was the idea. It was going to be bright colours or patterned clothes in colours, just to sort of signify that they were who they were. The black for court was an idea that we were going to go for straight away. And then it was originally going to be white, was the character if you were it. Just like the black would sort of show it fading, just to like keep it a bit brighter. Idea 2, the characters were going to be Safian, Mark, Scott and myself. We were going to have costumes, we were going to have contact lenses, just to show the change in their eyes and stuff. Red hand paint, you know, to brand their face and stuff. The mask for the evil figure, dark clothes to like signify who they are. The location, obviously, we were going to have to be college because that was the basic idea. But obviously we could film, you know, different buildings, even around some streets. The effects we were going to have, sound effects would have been eerie sort of playing stuff. We were going to have just groaning, grumbling sounds. Colour correction to like brighten the red on the characters' faces. Just sort of like change the colour of their eyes as well. Idea 3, the characters we were going to have Owen, Ash, Safian, Sammy, me, Scott and Mark. We were going to have a 3v3, then Sammy would play the grey character. The props would obviously need coins, weapons, even the coloured clothes. Costumes, we'd have grey t-shirt, black and white clothes, signify the gangs and stuff. Makeup, we'd get different coloured costume makeup. We'd get fake blood, make bruises, get fake cuts, stuff like that. Location would have been back of a building, around a building, streets, maybe even in a park. The main idea. Oh, hang on. Jump back. The main idea I went for was Spleef. I thought it had the most potential to do something with it. Although I did think the hand was going to be like a close second just to come in with it. I want to do Spleef because it shows, it's something I've never tried before. I've always wanted to try like a real life kind of game like video kind of thing. I just want to see how that plays out and just kind of learn from it.
Cool. Do you want to take us through your schedule?
Yep. On the first week, I'm going to get the mind maps done. That should take about a day. That shouldn't take too long. On the second week, I will have 3 idea sheet done and the mood board. That should take about a day, probably half. Just get it done. Identification of resources, same week, and the contextual research. That would just be all done in about the same week, just every day come and do it. Then the character bios, the scripting, the scheduling, the focus group, the risk assessment, the equipment, and the identification of the audience would all be done in the third week, just to kind of keep time management going, make sure everything's done together. Then fourth week would be spent all filming, booking equipment, filming days, transferring footage, just everything done on that week. Then on the week 5, we would have organising footage, offline edit, online edit, rendering, export and stuff like that. And then the final week would be spent using the presentation.
It's fine. Okay, cool. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple about the first one. Obviously, it worked well with Mark's idea.
Yeah.
My only concern is, if all 4 of you are acting, who's going to man the equipment?
We'd have extra people man the equipment. We'd just kind of borrow people from the other group.
Because realistically, you should be behind the camera working on this project.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, someone else would be essentially doing your job for you.
Well, people aren't going to be in every scene, so we can just kind of switch it and alternate it.
So you need to plan that in the scripts.
Yeah.
Another thing is the timescale on the graphics. I really like the idea because you showed me the examples yesterday of your research into these computer game sort of effects for live action. I would suggest starting building them now.
Okay.
So when you come to edit, you can place them straight in, or you'll still be working on them.
Yeah.
Because if you get to the edit stage and you're trying to build these, it'll just take too much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to kind of get them done beforehand so that you can just put them in.
Yeah. Especially like if you're looking at Scott Pilgrim,
Yeah.
because they're really complicated to make, them
Yeah.
sort of graphics. And you want him to look like Mario, sort of like
Yeah.
retro Mario sort of graphics. But he could look really good. Another thing you mentioned the shooting in the park as well.
Yeah.
Is that for the first idea, or was it it wasn't the second, was it? Because that was in college.
It was the first and the third. It was the original idea was for just have it for the third, but it could have worked for the first, so I just kind of added it in.
Because I like the idea of you shooting this in the park. Because I tend to tell students not to shoot in college. I don't like the aesthetics of college. I think it looks lazy to shoot a film in college. But the park could work really well because there's different locations in a park, for example.
Yeah.
So you have like a children's playground areas. You could have sort of like action going on there, and then it moves to another area of the park.
Mm.
Whereas the college is quite samey.
Plus there's a lot of open space.
Yeah.
Like if you're working within classrooms and cupboards, like there's not
much to play
there's
with.
not a lot to
Yeah.
play with, so there's more to do in the park potentially.
But Mark's focus group yesterday came back saying use a different location as well.
Yeah.
So the idea of using a park, and there's only one down the road as well,
Yeah.
or there could be another one that might want to recce anyway, that's in the area or further out. But
Yeah,
that idea of a park, I think, I'm glad you mentioned that.
because they could go to the recce's this afternoon for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's loads of different areas in the park, for example, if there's like a woodland area.
Yeah.
Health and safety though, don't forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, idea 1, and because Mark's are very similar, I would suggest merging your idea with his.
Cool. Idea 1.
Definitely.
Fab.